Hello dear Aristobats, welcome back, unless you're new here of course, in which case, welcome anew. Today we'll be trying out playing a game. As I mentioned both on my Twitter and I think I mentioned the community tab as well, I wanted to try something new. Games is what I initially wanted to do as a vtuber, but because my equipment is kind of outdated, I cannot really play much. In fact, I can't play anything at all. The fact that Reverse allows me play with what I have is already a miracle. Unfortunately, I cannot play it at its best quality. It might get laggy during fights too, based on what I've tried so far, but still I wanted to give it a try because I love the game and I wanted to try different content. So today we'll be getting straight to chapter 5 of the game that came out recently. If you haven't played the game, I will tell you a few things about it so that you get an idea of what it is about, and then we'll go straight to the chapters. Now, I will admit I've already played some of the parts of the chapter. Because I had no chill, I really wanted to play some of it, and I thought, hey, maybe I can do the event by myself and do the chapter with you all. But then I realized many parts of the event were locked unless you played the chapter. So I said, okay, I'm going to play the chapter alone and play the events with everybody else. But then I thought this would be unfair, and also getting straight to the event would probably confuse many people. So we will go through them together again. Just the story parts though, I've already done the battles, and since it's getting laggy at that part, there's no need to see more. And yeah, after that we're getting to the event that I haven't touched so far, so everything will be brand new for me as well. I'll get to the game description now for those who don't know anything about it. So if you're already playing, if you've progressed, if you're already at chapter 5, please feel free to move on and go straight into the chapter. I've put timestamps in the description for you to go whenever you want to go. Okay, let's get to the description now. So what is Reverse 1999? It is basically a gacha game with other video game elements. For example, its story is presented in a very visual novel kind of way. The battles are done with cards, although you don't have to be very big on strategy to play. Like, I haven't been putting much effort on my strategy so far and I've been doing okay. And there are also other mini games that come and go with every patch that gets released, because there are limited time events that you can participate, and these have different kinds of games you can play. One of which, by the way, became stable in this patch. Like, we used to have this kind of gameplay during some events, and now it's become stable, if it makes sense. You will get to see that either through me or by playing the game yourselves, but it's very entertaining, if you like. About the story now, I'll try to summarize everything as best as I can, but take everything with a grain of salt, because this is what I've understood, and there are many things that I might have misunderstood, so unless you play the game you will never know, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so you can play with any character you want, but you're mainly the main character, this silver-haired girl named Vertin. She is a special human being, if you like. There are two types of people in this world: the human race and the arcanist race. The arcanist race is basically people with superpowers. These powers are led by arcanum, not magic. I mean, arcanum is their way of saying magic in this world, I suppose. And Vertin is one of them, is an arcanist. And also there's a lot of themes of racism based on that. Humans don't like arcanists, and arcanists don't like humans. But there are exceptions in both fields. Vertin works for an arcanist foundation called St. Pavlos Foundation. Now, this foundation does a lot of things, but two important things you have to remember is that A, they collect arcanists from around the world and train them so that they work for them, either as warriors or undercover detectives, researchers, because as you will see, many arcanists are actually scientists, many things. And this doesn't always happen in a harmonious way. Some of the kids were taken without their will in the foundation, while others enrolled normally, like this was some, school that was supposed to make them better at the powers. They don't seem to be taking adults in unless said adult has a specific power they're very much into. And I'm not sure if I've got this right, but I believe this is because an adult has already developed their views and morals and whatnot, so I don't think they would be as willing as a child to follow whatever the Foundation ordered them to do, if you know what I mean. The other thing that the Foundation does is researching what is called the storm and trying to find how to stop it. And this storm is the whole reason of the title. When the year 1999 came into this world, there was a weird storm that happened, the raindrops of which, by falling on things, it started corroding them, dissolving them, melting them. And since then, everything that's melted, it melted back to years before. So after this storm, it's like the whole human timeline has gone crazy, and instead of going forward, it reverses backwards. So we're experiencing older and older times within the game until Vertin, who is the one they've sent to research the storm, finds what it is made of and how to stop it. And that's about it. I think that's what you have to know about the St. Pablo's Foundation. Oh, and also I've got to say that there is an enemy team in this game. They're called Manus Vindicte, and they are Arcanus, who are also researching the storm, but so far it appears that they're connected to the storm. Instead of researching it to control the storm, it appears that they've already established some sort of link between their powers and the storm, but we don't know yet. This hasn't been established yet. But Manus Vindicte have created some mechanisms, if you like. They have some masks that when they put them on, the storm doesn't affect them. They cannot melt by the storm, they cannot be dissolved. And also one of their bases, as we will see in this chapter, is also immune to the storm. And we want to see what's going on about that. That's all I had to say about the story. There's more, there's way more that you'd best experience if you play the game. So yeah, I think I've summarized everything that you need to know. Let's get to the game. Okay, so now that we've all caught up, let's start the 5th chapter, which I've already played, like I said, but we'll go through it together and I'll tell you my thoughts. You can tell me your thoughts in the comments. Please, I love talking about the game. If you have any theories, if you agree or disagree with what I say, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. Let's start. 5th chapter, first part, Bon Voyage. Be it the Thames or the Aegean, one must navigate carefully. I won't put it on auto because it gets stuck, so excuse the clicks, but it's the best thing I can do for it not to lag.
Hold tight! Blin, there is nothing we can do. We have another 10 minutes tops before this ship sinks like a stone.
60% of the left cabin has been flooded, as well as 75% of the right cabin. The ship cannot survive such a ferocious storm. Timekeeper, we should get ready for evacuation.
Prepare the teleport soft disk.
Wait, what are you talking about? Are we going to abandon the ship? These are just some breezes and ripples. Won't last longer than a blink of an eye. Just hold on to the wheel and we'll...
That sounds like the turbine just cracked.
Great. So only 2 minutes left. A true captain will never abandon her ship.
Regulus just really loves her ships, doesn't she?
I've sworn to live and die with Rockin' Apple, the second of its name. Then why is it the second?
And Lilia loves to troll.
Damn it. Sotheby just bought us this ship. I racked my brains to think of all the assurances I could give to get that governess off my back.
I think it's better for us to embrace the fact that all things would come to an end, Captain.
Sometimes, deserting is to leave for another battlefield.
I was surprised that we actually get to have Miss Radio with us this time. It was interesting to me. The rain washes the radio shell. The flower on top, which was once well cared for, now droops with weariness. Regulus stares at the flower blankly. Then her eyes widen as she suddenly realizes something.
Oh, you're one to talk about deserting. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have ended up like this in the middle of the...
Timekeeper, We have an emergency. The teleport soft disk can't be activated. I've tried other contingency teleport incantations, but none of them worked in this area. Neither did the communicator. It's as if something is jamming the signal.
I see.
At this point, I was thinking Manus Vindicte, but later on we'll see that maybe it wasn't them after all.
I have a question for you, Sonato.
Please, Timekeeper.
In the field mission evacuation instructions, apart from the part about asking the Timekeeper for help, is there anyone else we can reach out to for rescue?
Seriously, Vertin.
Without hesitation, Regulus pounces on Miss Radio.
What's going on now? This is a trap!
Violence against the radio. And that's funny coming from somebody who's been working on the radio. With music, I mean.
And you are behind all this! It is you who played that nonsense travel note from 1999 and lured us into this random sea in order to torture us, afflict us, and now feed us to the fish! Go ahead, give us the wicked villain laugh, you Manus mole! Quit playing innocent here! I don't know. I mean no harm. Nice try. See what else you got to say when this pirate opens your battery cover and finds Made in Manus there. Please, do not shake me.
If I broadcast how to clean kitchen appliances for you now, will it brighten up?
Like hell it will. Can't you see? My ship is going down, along with my record collection and your battery cover, to the bottom of the sea, for good!
I mean, I understand her frustration. She really loved her first ship, and she had to lose it, and now she has to lose another one. And she struggled for that. You will see later on.
Even John Lennon can't do anything about it now.
Not John Lennon.
I'm terribly sorry. I can't see. I could only touch, hear, and imagine.
I feel bad for Miss Radio.
How about this program? Lesson 101, the express route to heaven one shouldn't miss. I think it would serve you better.
Well, we can't save ourselves. We might as well get ready for heaven.
I can't stand this anymore. My records, my Dr. Peppers, my pirate radio, my Rockin' Apple II. For crying out loud, what have I done to deserve this?
A soothing song comes on the radio.
Well, she did try her best to pick the music. Though no one is in the mood, I think this piece is not bad. As to Regulus's question, we need to slightly twiddle this knob.
To 1913.
Okay, for the second part, I will have to rewatch everything through the Atlas, because once there is a battle in a part, you cannot rewatch the video attached to it. So yeah, let's go to the second part, Treasure Hunt.
This is
the official letter of appointment from the Foundation.
For those who don't know, in the previous chapter, Vertin and her team, basically Vertin couldn't participate, but her team was trying to pass some sort of law that allowed Vertin to have a team of her own with arcanists that she herself chose. But in order for her to do that, the Foundation asked that they still had control over Vertin's team. And Constantine, that you see her name on the paper, is the leader, I guess, the leader of the Foundation, but there is a team of more arcanists that is above her, that she answers to.
Congratulations, Vertin. After the long evaluation period and the re-examination, the Storm Reformation, Manpower, and Discipline has been officially approved by the Pact's Security Council. Team Timekeeper is now a legitimate, independent department. You are now granted a more flexible autonomy and independent budget.
They've been waiting in the suitcase for this document for far too long.
What was that? Did you say budget? Does that mean the Foundation will assign me a new ship?
She really wanted that second ship, I told you.
Unfortunately, independent means doesn't rely on others.
I can apply for a ship for you, but it's not guaranteed.
Misers. Fine. Not that I wanted an obsolete ship painted in grey as shepherd check.
Regulus mumbles and walks away. She has entirely lost interest in this conversation.
However, the price of passing that bill is to let the Foundation keep its authority to discipline unregistered arcanists. The arcanists who have been and will be assigned to the Timekeeper's team will be put through a risk assessment procedure carried out by the Foundation. Those who are in lower risk categories only need to receive primary artificial subnebulism training, while the high-risk ones will go to the School of Discipline. But I will make sure they will be registered as members of Team Timekeeper when they enroll.
I see. I have only one question. Are you still our point of contact for the Foundation, Madam Z?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, Madam Z, I'm not 100% sure about her yet, but I think she really wants to help us. And her backstory, I don't know a lot about her backstory, but based on what she's been through, I don't think she's going to betray us. Like, obviously, Vertin here asked just to be sure if she's still on our side. But yeah, I don't know, I trust her so far. I think she's been through way too much to stab somebody like Vertin in the back.
Then I have no further questions.
A smile breaks on Madam Z's lip.
Meanwhile, Team Timekeeper can apply for secondment from the Foundation, Laplace, and Zeno if necessary.
Laplace and Zeno are two other Arcanist foundations that I'm not 100% sure about. I think Laplace are only scientists. They're researching things. We do have some characters from that place, if I'm not mistaken. And Zeno are, I think, soldiers. They're more on the offense side of things. I think they're soldiers, but I haven't really understood how Zeno works. Laplace, I remember that they have a lot to do with researching and labs and whatnot.
You can check this file for more details.
I forget to read. I'm so sorry. I'll read that. So, Miss Z hands over a supplemental clause of considerable thickness. Fortunately, there are other things in more dire need of being checked right now. What's our mission?
It stays the same. Keep investigating the storm and Manus Vindictae. You can make your own plans of action. The Foundation only needs a monthly report on the result.
Uh-huh.
You're the first in command, Burton.
Okay.
You already have a target, I assume.
That base that Manus used to keep its elite house 4 years ago. It has never been reversed by the storm.
Elitiaus, for those who don't know, is a stingray type of monster that flies and refuses to die easily.
I'd like to investigate that place again.
So you've been there many times. Well, that'd make a good start for Team Timekeeper. I'll arrange for some people to meet you at the base. I think you'll have a great time together.
Oh, the fog is thick here.
The mist hangs heavy in the valley, and the temperature is somewhat uncomfortable for those accustomed to the suitcase.
It used to be the nest of Elitiaus, a kind of creature resting in valleys with abundant water resources. What's more, it's winter now.
Leaves are indeed covered with a thin skin of frost. Regulus clicks her tongue and eyes the fog-shrouded gate of Zeno.
So why do I have to be the errand girl? The Foundation wasn't even planning to give me a ship.
Well, you're in the team now, girl.
Miss Sonetto is going through the procedures in the headquarters to transfer herself to Team Timekeeper. Struvis and Sotheby are on a break, for they have spent much time and energy clearing the woods and repairing the... Miss Lilia has been given an administrative penalty because she broke into the rehabilitation center not long ago. This leads us to the current situation, where only the captain and this apple are able to act freely.
And help Vertin, who's helped you many times. Be nice.
What? So in the end, was I, the renowned rocking pirate, the only one who didn't cause any damage to the Foundation buildings? Ugh! I have never felt so humiliated in my life!
You're not planning on destroying this place now.
No.
Sorry.
Hey, see who's here? Lilia and a stranger.
Next to the rusty iron door, Lilia squats on her hunkers, looking extremely bored.
What took you so long? Fell into a gutter?
A graceful stranger is standing next to her.
Hello, timekeeper.
Oh, Miss Moisson.
My name is Moisson. My employee ID is SF27602191908238X. I believe Madame Z has told you about me.
Miss Moisson, Miss Croissant. Let's go.
I am now an official member of your team.
That is good. I've had her in my team way before that, so yay me, I guess.
Miss Morson, welcome to the team. Madame Z said you're an excellent tutor in Arcanum.
She's too kind to say so. In fact, I have a lot to learn from you. Also, thank you for taking good care of Miss Sotheby.
Hold on, you know Sotheby?
According to Madame Z, Miss Morzan used to be Sotheby's private teacher.
See, this is something I didn't know, and I'll tell you why. It is the fan base that confused me. When I first heard Miss Sotheby mention Moisson, I thought she was just, working for her in some way. And people kept calling her Sotheby's mom, like in the fan community or whatnot. So I thought, can she be Sotheby's mom? But anyway, I was confused. Now I know.
It is a long story. Let Miss Lilia give us an introduction to the base first. As the field operator, she knows this place better.
Miss Moisson smiles towards the flying witch beside her, has started to yawn. Someone clearly has grown tired of this humdrum small talk.
After I got promoted and transferred to the headquarters, those exciting outbound missions have been removed from my schedule. In short, although it's called the base, the only place unaffected by the storm is a narrow, 20-meter-long corridor, no larger than a hunter's lodge. My former fellows had already searched this place from top to bottom. Those Laplace dudes had even sent in their lapdogs to search here inch by inch. Found nothing but some excrement of the Alitius and the dog's own poop.
There might be some clues that are invisible. Regulus is a specialist in optical arcane skills. Maybe she can find something.
A specialist? Well, I'll take that as a compliment. But for the record, compared to searching, hiding treasures is more of a pirate's lot.
I disagree, but yeah. This pirate wants to hide treasures, not find them.
So if it were up to me to hide treasures in this place...
Regulus walks into the depths of the river valley.
Please hold on for a second, Captain Regulus. The fog seems abnormally thick.
Regulus halts and hesitates. Slowly, she turns her head.
Ambush! Ambush! These brats nearly shot my hat off!
Lucky you, they hit the jackpot right away. There shouldn't be any ambush in this place.
Easy, Ms. Regulus. Please carefully retreat to my side. Ms. Timekeeper, please cover us.
Unknown attackers, everyone be careful. And that's it with part 2. We'll do more in the future if this video goes well, I guess. But now I want us to get into some gaming. Let's do... not this. This one. Eternity from long time ago. From long ago, sorry.
37. 37.
So this one probably is going to be a backstory to one of the new characters, either 37 or 6, or maybe even the NPCs, Sophia or 210. If you haven't played the chapter by yourselves, you probably don't know who they are. And that's okay because, like I said, this is a backstory. It will probably add more context for you later when we get to meet them in the actual chapter. So yeah, this is the island we end up on during chapter 5. And this is one of the NPCs, Sophia, and she appears young here. And she calls for 37, as we can see. But yeah, let's keep going.
Look!
At the trail I made in the water.
Certainly.
Yes, I was counting. The end result was the number 4. 37 walked over to Sophia, raising forefinger seriously. That means what she did was spot on. 4 signifies justice and strength. Wonderful. Let me try again. I'll try to make more skips this time.
1, 2, 3.
Oh. Excitedly, Sophia picked up a few more smooth pebbles, only to receive a puzzled look from her companion. You got the right answer already. Why throw more? The question made Sophia pause, and she matched her puzzled face. But 37 seemed to be more confused. Bigger numbers aren't always better. If you're testing your throwing technique, 4 is the best possible number.
Yeah.
Or do you want to test your passion and coordination? 5 would be better for that. No, I'm not trying to test any number. It's a game. The red-haired girl felt caught in the awkwardness of the moment. She hadn't been on the island for very long, and the seriousness with which they took arithmetic still left her feeling alien. Thankfully, she had a companion who was well-versed in these matters.
Oh.
A game. Oh, a game! Like Cotabos. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Where you fling wine dregs from 2-handled cups at dinner parties. Akotavos. I think that's a Greek game, guys, but I'm not 100% sure. Shame on me, because I'm Greek. Let's get going. I guess so. I mean, it almost sounds like skipping stones. She had agreed without really understanding the specifics, but not wanting the conversation to stall or to disappoint a new friend.
Oh.
Oh, all right. I don't get the point of all this. Huh. 37's brow furrowed, as if let down by her companion.
So...
Throwing wine or pebbles, hitting a target, sinking a plate, or skipping stones in water.
Does all this have any symbolic meaning?
What's the point of these actions? What are we trying to achieve? If it's about being the highest rank, I get it. Like 210, he's always trying to get the top score in Kotabos. So he's 6. He's always chasing the end of each series.
But...
Sometimes it seems people do things without any purpose at all. Or they're just playing. That's what most games are about, spending time with friends and having fun time, without any greater purpose, I guess. Fun? You mean these things don't have any transcendent purpose? They don't climb up the hierarchy, seek knowledge, purify the souls, or seek out the truth? That's a sad little girl. That's a sad little girl, I'm sorry. So all they're doing is idling in the sensory world. And that's fine, dang it. The young girl's tone grew much more distant, even cynical, surprising Sophia. No, I think... Well, it's not entirely like that. Sorry, 37. I'm new here, and there's a lot I don't understand. If I'm wrong... The blue-haired girl was resting her chin in her hands. She had already drifted away in thought.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
That's all right.
Never mind, these trivial matters. We have more important things to do. Mother asked me to familiarize you with the island, so... Is 4 the number you wanted to validate on the beach? Sophia tried to finish her apology, but 37 dismissed it with a wave. She was already caught in another train of thought. This kind of thing would happen several times until she got used to it. But back then, a still-fledgling heart was unpolished by the sea breeze and sand, and she was full of questions.
37.
I still don't quite understand this Apiron belief in numbers.
I just think...
Before coming here, I dealt with numbers in my studies, but it was just arithmetic. When I solved the problems, my dad would reward me with a candy, and I'd save them in a jar to buy flowers for Mom before going to the hospital. Oh, so her mom is sick. Sophia realized she was saying too much. It wasn't the right context, nor did it concern her new friend.
But...
Anyway, my impression of numbers is all caught up in those textbook exercises, far removed from these abstract, transcendent meanings. Like, I don't understand why you believe that numbers are eternal. Imagine a little girl knowing what transcending means, actually. Honestly. Because they're eternal. 37's answer, more a declaration, was yet more puzzling, making Sophia regret asking at all and risking offense. Thankfully, prime numbers like 37 are nimble-minded. At least, that is what she would say.
But...
I don't know how to explain it with words, but I have the perfect example. It was Euclid who once proved that there are infinite numbers of prime numbers. Prime numbers? Like how 37 is a prime number?
Certainly.
Yes, 13 is prime, 23 is prime, 37 is prime, and 337 is also prime. The factors are only one in themselves. They cannot be divided by any other natural number. Natural number. Prime numbers can go on infinitely, but how can we prove this? 37 enthusiastically wrote a series of numbers in the sand, finishing with a circle at the end. Euclid's method is to imagine the existence of the largest prime number. This is O. So we make a complete series of prime numbers starting from the smallest, 2, all the way to the largest, O. Based on this understanding, let's imagine there's a number triangle. Triangle represents the multiplication of all prime numbers in the q plus 1. Clearly, it cannot be divided by any of the listed prime numbers. The number 2, 3, 5, or any number represented by circle will result in the remainder of 1. I like how I actually wanted to play this part of the event, but I guess we'll be doing maths till the end of the video. If triangle is not a prime number, it should be divisible by a prime number larger than circle. If triangle is a prime number, then naturally it's larger than circle. Anything you say, I'm with you, girl. I never did well with maths, by the way. Both scenarios contradict the assumption that circle is the largest prime number. Therefore, the conclusion is there's no such thing as a largest prime number circle. Prime numbers are infinite. 37 finished writing, clapped her hands, shook off the sand, and stood up beaming.
But...
I heard about this theorem at school, but I still don't understand what it means, really. She couldn't grasp the transcendental meaning behind such specific mathematical theorems. To her, they were strict, correct, but nothing more than chalk particles on the blackboard, monochromatic, sharply defined, and barely soluble in water. And that was all. Mother told me Euclid wrote down this proof over 2,000 years ago. She said the person who wrote this proof will die. The paper that recorded this proof will decompose, and we, who read this proof, will also one day disappear. Everything will be washed away like sand on the seashore.
Certainly.
But this proof will endure, always correct, beautiful and intricate, to be admired by every future generation. I suppose it's eternal. Everyone on the island tells me I'm special. Prime numbers are like the foundation stones of arithmetic. All integers are derived from prime numbers. But I'm one of a set of infinite prime numbers. There will always be more, newer numbers, so I'm not truly special. But even if I am just 37 grains of salt on the beach, I'm still encompassed within this infinite queue. Yeah. And there are infinite number of such sequences. Sequences of integers, sequences of fractions, sequences of irrational numbers, each and every one infinite. 37 turned around, and now her eyes sparkled with the grains of sun in the sunlight. We're all part of infinity, and I take pride in that. I think, Sophia, that is what eternity is. Under the bright sunlight, the grains of sand on the beach gleamed like gold. As she locked eyes with 37, it was blinding, yet poignant. Don't close your eyes. As the scripture says, do not shy away from anything beautiful.
Ah!
As time passed, I often remember the theorem 37 told me. I never quite understood her world, this fascinating, abstract kingdom of mathematics where every number is a friend. But in that moment, I caught a fleeting glimpse of the beautiful brilliance of eternity in her eyes. It was enchanting, inspiring, and admirable. It became the seed that led me to embrace the school. The beach changed in the days that evolved. As ship approached the shore, the emanation unfolded before our eyes, and cheers turned into sorrowful cries. Eventually, all that remained of what we lost were cold, lifeless geometric shapes. Yet through it all, 37 stood unwavering. She poured incredible focus into her mother's research, never displaying any sadness or hesitation. It's like the theorem she spoke of the day on the beach, unchanging, resolute, immune to the passage of time. How could 37 stay so uniquely unaffected by the world around her? I couldn't find an answer to that question. All I could do was offer my help, meager as it was. Finally, we can play! But there's more talking, obviously. A children's game. I told you it was visual novel-like, so yeah. The lab's light bulb needs changing, and we may need more paper for calculations. 37 mentioned last time that we need...
Hey!
Oh hey, Sophia. You look like you're in a rush. Something urgent? Not exactly, I'm just heading to the lab to check on 37's progress. 37, it's been a while since she's made an appearance on the beach. Perhaps she's still digging into those remaining records. No one else can handle them. Every time the emanation came up in the conversation, the atmosphere seemed to darken in response. It was as if navigating around the edge of a storm. Don't worry, 37 will figure it out. And hey, take care of yourselves, both of you. We don't need you to wear yourselves out.
I understand.
Thank you both so much. Sophie extended her hand in a gesture of goodwill. I think that's, they do the shape of a triangle on the chest. I haven't understood what it means. After sharing those brief pleasantries, it was time to continue on the way. Oh, it's underground. Okay. Scattered scribbled notes, piles of thick books, and stray strands of critter hair. It looked as if a flock of abraxas had visited, or the lab had been caught in a whirlwind of centuries on end. For those who haven't played, abraxas is a type of bird that has... It does have legs, normal bird legs, but it also has snake legs as well. I said also and as well at the same time. My English, let's keep going. Anyone would have been exhausted by such a sight. And amidst the panoply, the lab director herself lay sprawled across the table, lost in her own head. 37, have you considered tidying up this room? She moved nimbly, stepping over scattered books as she approached the long table. The notebook which lay beside 37 looked oddly familiar.
This is...
Someone had treasured this notebook, adorning it with illustration and notes. Flipping through its pages, Sophia found meticulous data validation records accompanied by engineering sketches. After a few more pages, the content started relating to things on the island, interspersed with the sheet music and simple sketches documented seagulls flying by and the silhouette of a little girl playing. Finally, her fingers halted on a page with grids and a few math problems written on it.
Sophia!
Oh, Sophia, you're here! 37 wrapped her eyes and quickly shifted her attention to the notebook Sophia was holding.
Oh!
I found this little book while looking through one of these piles. There's an absolute plethora of notes inside. I wanted to see if there were any records related to the emanation. 37 straightened up, carefully inspecting the page Sophia was reading. I remember this page. I was so young then, standing on my tiptoes to reach my father's desk. I told him how my friends seemed uninterested in games and that I was struggling with math. I'm observing the notebook, by the way. So this was chess, right? Yeah, this is chess. I'm surprised 37 wasn't interested in something like that, because I think you can play it. I mean, it's, oh my god, what's the name? In Greek we call them conditions. I don't know if it's the same name in English, but there are several conditions in which something can be achieved, and that can be solved through mathematics. So I'm surprised that 37 wasn't into chess, at least, as a game. Also, lab director. I didn't know 37 was a lab director. I don't know if it's mentioned in the main story. I haven't reached that part. But lab director, my girl. Yoo-hoo. They have mentioned she's special in the main story as well, but I didn't know how she was special. I guess she can analyze numbers better than anyone, and theories and stuff. So maybe that's why she's there. But they also mentioned her mother was doing some research that she took up after her death, I suppose, through the storm. He brought a stool so I could see the words as he wrote in his notebook.
It's just...
Sorry, this isn't really important. See, this is sad though, because to her it is important, but 37 doesn't understand it. She closed the notebook and turned to 37. These are riddles for kids, far too simple for you. Don't waste your time on them. Everyone's waiting for the next phase of your research. I'll take this notebook with me.
No.
No, Sophia, these aren't just for kids. I just found out that the answers form an interesting sequence. They might relate to celestial rhythms. That's Hugh's area of study, right? Look, this number seems to follow an octave pattern with the next one. And these symbols are unique too.
I think...
They're all related to number 3. It must be a trick using a combination of triangles. I've tried several solutions. She listed one intriguing discovery after another. 37 pontificated, glowing with increasing focus and enthusiasm, was reminiscent of her past lessons on the beach and countless nights researching the emanation. Armed with that intense curiosity, she sought answers in everything. I forgot to mention, emanation is the storm for the people of the island. Unwavering, unchanging. Fine.
Well...
If that's the case, then I'll help you find the answers, 37. But let's be quick. Afterward, you'll refocus on your main research, right?
Sure.
Of course. It shouldn't take long. I'm almost certain. First, we should find a special spot, something close to the one described in the notebook. The notebook rustled in 37's hands. Her fingers skimmed the pages, capturing flitting sparks of inspiration. She sped towards the lab's exit. I hope this won't take too long. So this is also interesting. It's like she's trying, like 37 doesn't understand Sophia's world, but now she was amused by those notes from her childhood. So maybe she is interested in chess after all. Like I said, it didn't make sense to me that she wasn't interested in chess at least. But see, Sophia feels bad now, because if this kind of stuff keeps 37 away from her main research for long, maybe somebody else will be mad. Maybe the whole island, council will get mad. Should I really let her waste the time like this? See, she shouldn't be asking these questions. 37 is finally interested in something she did as a child, I guess. Like, I don't know how to express it, but I bet you understand what I mean. Even now that she gets a chance to experience Sophia's way of thinking, Sophia feels bad, like wasting her time in a way. I swear we won't play today. I'll change the title. I don't know, like gaming she said and reading she did or something. I'm so sorry. Beach walking. I hope there's gonna be walking in game too. I'm sorry. Strolling along the familiar path on the beach, everything looked as it did before. The sand was sand, rocks, only rocks. Earthly elements, far divorced from anything transcendental. See, I can't even pronounce it, so how could they use the word as children? My god. but it was an unwritten doctrine of the school. A walk by the sea helped one contemplate the truth. Oh, I missed that flock of seagulls.
Ah, be careful!
37 next to you. The startled birds flapped and cawed, shaking off in a flurry of sound and feathers. 37 brushed away the debris that landed on her paper, continuing on without fuzz. Sophia caught up with her, hurrying from behind, at last breaking her focus. Something wrong, Sophia? Nothing. Any new discoveries? Not yet, but I've thoroughly dispelled the dark clouds from my mind. The sea breeze may not aid in finding the truth, but it is invigorating in its own way. But as if to challenge a claim, a yawn escaped her. So sleepy.
Yay!
Look, it's 37. Have you discovered anything interesting lately? Care to tell us about it?
Or like this?
Perhaps we start calling 37 the start of Hermes, like 210 does. I mean, it sounds like an honor, doesn't it? Anyway, good afternoon, 37. They passed a group of children who overtook them with curiosity and warm greetings. Everyone had known 37's curious methods for her research, and so were surprised to see her strolling along the beach with a notebook in hand. Afternoon. Playing hopscotch? Better move a bit further, or the waves will mess up your lines. Waves.
Let me think.
Each drop in the wave moves in a circular motion. The crested waves exceed 120 degrees. They crash with a whoosh. But the answer sequence seems unrelated with these waves. What could it be then? She briefly dove back into her thoughts. But as the leader approached, she snapped out almost as quickly. 266, 267. Oh. The leader sidestepped them around them silently, as if trying to make a quick escape. Such efforts rarely turned out as expected for him. 6, you're here too. What methods are you examining with your walk? Are you counting your steps along the beach?
I think.
Perhaps you're taking 6,666 steps because you're a 6? Oh, but that number isn't optimal. Let me guess. 6 deftly avoided 37's quizzical advice and changed the subject.
Why aren't you in your laboratory?
Oh, so he's the one keeping her in the laboratory. I discovered some puzzles you left behind, so I've opted to decode them with Sophia. She happily waved the decorated notebook in her hand towards 6.
Actually,
These puzzles are mostly children games. I can assure you 37 will waste too much time on them.
Sure.
They're indeed rudimentary. Oh, I figured out the clue I overlooked. Thank you, Sophia. I have it now.
Essentially.
They're games, so you must play through them to understand Hugh's intention. And it just so happens there are already 3 of us. You, me, and 6. Imperceptibly, 6's hair stood on end like a fight or flight response. Sorry, other matters that called to my attention. We used to play together often, didn't we?
I think.
The present is no different from the past. Time is merely a procession of knots on an infinite rope. It doesn't matter where you start counting.
No.
Thank you for your invitation, but... As 6 spoke, he took a step back. The language was clear, implying the conversation should end there. Unfortunately, the social cues were lost on 37.
Fine.
Excellent. I'd like to use the speech to gather anyone interested in the game. I assure you will be done before dinner, but we simply cannot ignore this pressing issue. Very well. 6 turned to Sophia, nodding an almost imperceptible play to her.
In addition,
Please evaluate the feasibility of 37's
I
proposal,
shall leave this with you.
but I'm afraid I must take my leave. He took a step forward, pausing for a moment. I'll start from 268.
Thank you.
Finally, he resumed his interrupted walk, narrowly escaping 37's notice as she returned to her thoughts.
Oh.
You know, 6 was the best riddle solver among us. He used to say the most interesting things, but now he's become not but a walking scroll.
Actually,
6 has become the leader of the school, and our leaders need to be even-handed, objective, forthright, flawless. 6 has so many obligations. We all have our own tasks that need doing. Well then, my task is to understand the true meaning behind these exercises. She raised the collection of children's games high. For the island's chief researcher, it wasn't the most fitting action. 37.
Perhaps.
Maybe these exercises don't have any meaning at all. Huh? 37 blinked, as if Sophia's words had no input and meaning at all.
I think.
They're just children's games, and you already know the answers to each one of them.
Perhaps.
I know you think the sequence of answers is some significance, but maybe they are just random numbers. All things considered, we still have a conversation could have carried on about people's expectations, duties, and obligations. But the sea breeze suddenly drowned out her voice. 37 didn't hear her, or perhaps she didn't care to.
Huh?
It's those kids, look! 37 looked into the distance, completely engrossed in the next moment. Come on, Sophia, hurry up! I'll help you ask. Hold on, don't go so fast! Her words were lost in the swaying of 37's robe as she dashed ahead. She was always one to act on her thoughts immediately, seizing on every idea and squandering her inspiration. Yet she could reach heights others only dreamed of. Not long ago, she rushed out to the canteen in the middle of a dinner, bewildering everyone present. But a day later, she submitted her initial speculation on the distribution of the emanation, which was just as soon verified. When asked about it, 37's response was understated. Oh, I simply noticed a striking resemblance between the patterns of the emanation and how the sesame seeds were arranged.
Perhaps so.
It was a strange genius. She bent down to pick up a pebble buried in the sand and tossed it as far as she could. As the stone skimmed over the water's surface, it created several ripples, conjuring a stream of memories. Wah! Faint sobs collided against the smooth geometric surfaces, leaving faint and hollow echoes, but a hurried set of footsteps obscured any other sound.
Certainly.
Sophia, you're here! I've something for you, something you'll be interested in. 37 handed over a glass bottle. The rolled up paper inside looked jagged, as if it had once been a corner of a worksheet. You wanted to know your soul number, right? I saw it, so I wrote it down here. Her tone was as proud as ever. It was a prime number, one that carried a meaning of hard and piercing brilliance. It was a memory that was willfully forgotten. In the last moments of her memory, the glass bottle traced an arc through the air, landing in the sea. As the ripples dispersed, calm returned. A friend's call brought her back to reality.
Brilliant!
There are more people interested in this game than I thought. In no time, 37 returned with the participants she had found. Shining with confidence, she seemed ready to start immediately. All the necessary conditions are met now. We need to proceed in order with the game. Let's start with the first question. Will you help by observing us, Sophia? Of course. I'll validate your calculations and check for any errors. The red-haired corrector nodded. Of course, not every question needed an answer. Now they all had their own tasks. Gaming, finally! Okay, now it's gaming time, yay! So, 37 will summon the participants to the game. Follow the prompts to converse with the participants in the scene, confirming the respective selected shapes.
Hello there.
So let's start by choosing our shapes. Starting from the left side, we'll all choose one by one. She lifts the notebook high, showing it to the crowd around her waiting for instructions.
Please wait.
Choosing from the 7 geometric shapes, I think I'll choose in order. The monad, that from which all things originate. I choose the symbol to show respect to appearance.
It's like this.
You're right. I love the unity and universality of
The
it.
question is,
I choose this line segment, made of 2 points joined together. It represents both fusion and division, with endless possibilities.
that's great.
No problem. That's an interesting point you bring up as well.
I think
We need one more shape. 1, 2, 3. I'll take this one.
perfect number.
There's a nice golden ratio hidden in the star shape, so it's a good choice. Good. Now we can start fairing.
Let me think.
The first question in the notebook is, there is a well 8 meters deep. A small snail starts climbing from a button. It climbs 3 meters during the day and drops 2 meters at night. Wait, let me read this. Okay? After ascertaining the topic, corresponding deduction steps will be allocated to
For
participants.
instance,
The monad is climbing 3 meters.
Yes.
The allocated deduction steps will be recorded in available shapes. Okay.
here you go.
Now, the line segment represents dropping down 2 meters. And then the pentagram represents adding 1 day.
Perfect number.
I think everything is set now. Oh, okay, I understand. I see.
For instance,
The key to this is the chronology. The snail always climbs upwards during the day and drops downwards at night. Alright, at first I feared that they were going to ask us do actual math, and I was like, I'm never getting any rewards from this game. But okay, this is easy. How many times do I have to do it? Wait. Ah, it's 8 meters. I'm sorry, guys. I'm stupid. Okay, so we want 8 days, okay? Oh, we want 8 meters, sorry. So, 3, 2 down, 1 day. Currently 4 meters from the well. It is day 2. Wait, I'm confused. Okay, I'm stupid. Let me think of it, think it through, and I'll show you the result when I'm done. I just keep doing the pattern until it showed success. That was silly. The first one was silly to understand what you have to do. Okay, let's take the rewards. Oh wait, girl, let me take my rewards. Okay, so we'll do one more because my neck is killing me. And we're going to stop. There's more reading than I expected and less gaming, but next time we'll probably have more stuff to play because now you have, I'll show you. We have up to here, and this is all going to be this type of gaming while also exploring the story of 37 and Sophia's friendship, I suppose. Yes, but one more because of lack of gaming. So answer in a bottle. How's it going? You followed all the steps in order, right?
Yes.
I've numbered them and made notes.
that's great.
Wonderful! That will be most valuable resource. Now, on to the second question. The woman in plain robes continued with the game, methodically going through its motion. I wouldn't call them plain robes, but you do you. It was nothing more than a simple game for kids. To the corrector, it all seemed amusing. Here they were, brilliant minds meticulously recreating a child's play on the beach instead of tackling the great questions of their age. My point! 37 is actually playing a game. You just have to tell her the rules, and the game also has to include some sort of mathematic base for her to be entertained. I don't know. Do you really think this game holds any significance? As soon as Sophia asked this, the woman recording the answers turned and gave her a smile. Feeling bored? No, not really. 37 believes that by completing this game, she'll understand some hidden meaning in the sequence formed by the answers.
Actually,
But my father was pragmatic and always focused on the present. Like me, he didn't have an eye for these sorts of abstract things.
I think...
I doubt that his notebook could contain any of the transcendental meaning 37 is seeking. Honestly, at first glance, you can easily see the results. The answers to each question from a 10-digit number, 6333434533. I can see its value, but 37 must be doing this for a reason. After all, she's always the first to grasp the essence beyond the understanding. Essence. She had never associated her father's notebook with the notion of some transcendental essence. What essence could a set of children's exercises in an old book possibly hold?
I don't know.
If this is just a waste of time, it could erode everyone's trust. The corrector furrowed her brow with worry. She felt as if she had to rectify this mistake.
Sophia!
What's on your mind? Not mathematics, I assure you. A friend sudden appearing caught her off guard, forcing her to take a step back.
It's just...
Nothing.
Never mind.
She forced an adjustment of her demeanor, hiding any sign of her flustered thoughts. I was just thinking, 37. Are these games perhaps too simple for the others? Are they? 37 tilted her head.
I think...
But there is nothing simple about any set of numbers nor any set of answers.
essentially...
Indeed, the simplest numbers often hold the deepest meaning. Even a number as singular as 1 holds the origin of all mathematical thought.
It's like this.
I believe the problems of this notebook are no different.
I understand.
Of course, you're always right, 37.
Perhaps...
But perhaps instead of these simple games we could...
Huh?
Work on more important things? 37 finished her sentence, catching the red-haired corrector of God once again. 37's owl followed her as she took a step forward and fired off a series of questions on her own. Sophia, you keep repeating yourself. So then, what's most important to you? You, hard eyes, motherfucker. There could be many answers, a research on the emanation, the school's public affairs, or perhaps even just the fate of a small island. But there's love in the air. No, go away, 37. I know you're right. You're always right, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know my number anymore. The glass bottle shattered at the water surface. The splash rang heavy and bitter. I'm sorry. They both knew the ancient instruction, know thyself. But the most important answer had already been swept away by the waves, lost in the endless depths of the sea. Sorry, 37. I don't know that I can answer you right now. It's such a profound question, and I don't have an easy answer.
Perhaps...
I suppose I need some time to think about it properly. I need to check out our inventory. I hope your research goes well, 37. She spoke the words quickly, feigning calm. But it wasn't so easy to turn and leave. 37 held Sophia's hand firmly. Someone once taught me a problem-solving technique. When you're at a loss, try changing your mood. It's a useful trick, one which I've tested many times. If you don't have anything more important to do now, why not play the game with us? You still haven't participated in Hugh's game yet. I think she's found a way to share her joy with Sophia, because before Sophia would play games, and like when they were children she would play games and 37 would try to explain with numbers, which ruined the fun. But this time, well, it cannot be played otherwise. I guess this game cannot be played otherwise. It's mathematical problems played on the beach, you know, with other people. So in that way, she can both do what she likes, like use mathematics to prove things, and also play a game that Sophia is more into. It's like the connection of both worlds is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, I just feel that 37 looks naive and like she functions only through numbers and understanding numbers, but she has found a way in her own mindset to approach Sophia and give her what she seems to be wanting her whole time there in the island, if that makes sense. It was always so impossible to let go of that hand.
Well...
Alright, but remember, you promised to finish before dinner.
Sure.
Of course. Anyway, 6 is walking around the island. We have time before he reaches the 4 digits. Now, that's a way to know when somebody will be done. She can mathematically predict when he will be done. Come on, Sophia, let's tackle the next question. She's kind of cute, though, I give her that. I won't pull for her, but she's cute. Okay, let's see the new puzzle.
What's the next question?
A furble with a pretty geometric pattern on its head finds 12 grapes and intends to carry them back to a cave 6 meters away. It can carry up to 6 grapes at a time, but it eats 3 grapes every 3 meters that it advances. How many grapes can it bring back? 37 reads the question word by word and then turns expectantly to Sophia.
Sophia!
You did promise to come play with us just now, didn't you?
Well...
Of course. I wasn't just saying it. The corrector reluctantly confirms with 37 again. She will stay and participate.
It's like this.
Then take a look at my notebook and pick whichever shape you like.
Perhaps.
I'll think it over. Do you have any suggestion?
Let me think.
If I were to make a suggestion, I would say that this rectangle is a good fit.
This is...
Is it because of the meaning of full? Justice in order that's indeed suitable for a corrector? Thank you, 37. I think this is the one.
The scripture says...
I remember you did a proof about it. Not that it left much of an impression, but I believe there was such a thing. However, in this question, the rectangle represents returning to the pile of grapes.
I understand.
Quoted. That said, 210 sometimes drops grapes while walking, but I've never seen those furballs following him.
Essentially...
The description of the question isn't rigorous enough.
Perhaps...
Maybe it's because he always acts so loudly so creatures don't dare to come near.
Your number...
This time, the line segment represents advancing 3 meters.
Maybe.
Hey! Let me see. This time, the monad represents moving forward 3 meters, or is it 6 meters? It's
that's not
carrying
right.
as many grapes as possible. It was a wild guess. There's still a step of putting down all the grapes, which belongs to the pentagram. Oh yeah, I forgot. And drops all the grapes, I see. So, first, carry them. Advance 3 meters. Wait, the critter can carry up to 6 grapes at a time, but move to 3 meters, and it has to go 6 meters away. Drop all grapes. Return to pile. Carry as many grapes. Advance 3. Drop all grapes. Make to the pile. Okay, I will have to do it off camera, guys. Again, I'm so sorry. I just get panicked and I get really, yeah, this is silly. I'll get back to you. Okay, no, you know what? I figured it out. Here we go. I'm not that stupid. Okay, so, the scenario makes me a little confused. So, we have 12 grapes, okay? And he takes 6 of them each time, but eats 3 on the way, so he ends up dropping 3 of them and having to go back. So here's my thought. He carries the first 6, eats 3, and drops 3 on the ground. Then goes back, takes another 6, eats 3 of them, and drops the other. So now, the new location has 6 grapes, right? So now, again, he will carry all of them, all 6 of them, eat 3 on the way. I'm a genius! I'm slow, I've told you people. Okay, got it. Okay, and that's it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's not the kind of game we used to have during events. It's not what I expected. So different. And we also didn't get enough for a wish. I'm so mad. Oh wait, I do have a wish from the login. Okay, so let's make a wish together. I'm not gonna take anything, I think, because I'm still far from the pity, but yeah. I'm pulling for Lilia, not for 37. Because I've been wanting Lilia for a while. So yeah, let's try. Yeah, as expected. You need a gold to have a 5 or 6 star. What do we get? Okay, skip. What did we get? Oh, the twins!
Hello, I'm Lisa.
Oh, I'll finish them. Yeah. Oh well. Next time. Okay, so this was my first try to a game. I really expected the event game to be like previous times that you had to walk step by step. It was like, it was asking you to make the character move specific steps to reach an ending. Imagine like those maze games that you have to reach the end, but without the maze. You just have to do it in a specific pattern so that you either reach the goal before all your steps are finished, because you had specific steps you had to follow, or before some enemy caught up with you. This time it wasn't like that. You don't have to do that with limited steps or enemies after you. It was different. It's mathematics, and it kind of it's logical though. Even if you know very little mathematics, you can solve it. I'm just panicking for no reason. It's nothing. And overthinking, of course. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to entertain you with some voice acting, since the event stories usually don't have any reading. If you liked it, please do consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. I do wish to continue with this game because, like I mentioned in my announcement both on Twitter and the community tab, I cannot keep making movie reactions. They take too much time to edit, and I need to have time to both study and exercise as well. I will try different kinds of video with reverse as well. I can do tier lists, I can analyze characters because I'm a writer and I want to, because reverse's writing is really good and I want to delve into each character separately. You can expect these, I guess. But yeah, this is a start. This is a start, and I want to see how you will receive it, how you will like it, and whatnot. Yeah, that's all I had to say. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.